Greetings YouTube, Joe here with Cullination Media, and welcome back to another episode of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. This is episode number 56, and in this episode, we're going to be taking on the Gerudo's Training Ground and completing it. And also, obtaining their super fancy treasure, which will fit very nicely into our repertoire of weapons and such. Anyway, where we left off in the last episode, we can now push that silver block that was pretty much in the center of the room there, back through the hallway, and eventually it reveals a door that we can go through to get to a room with 3 like-likes, and once we defeat all of them, that will make a treasure chest appear, so that's what we're working on right now. These like-likes really aren't that bad, unless you get eaten. They're kind of slippery though, so sometimes your attack will go through them like that, and then you end up getting eaten. And I've lost my shield and my tunic. If this does happen, you want to make sure that you kill these things as soon as possible, and you really don't have anything to lose, so you can go completely on the aggressive side to take them down after you get eaten, if it does happen. I lost my Hylian shield and my Zora tunic there, so it kind of forced Link into a change of clothes, but that's okay. Now to open the treasure chest. This one right here just has a blue rupee in it, so that's not really anything to be concerned with. This one up here, I believe, is a trap. Let's see. Yep, that one is a trap indeed, so it freezes you and you lose some health, which kind of sucks. We're going to be seeing a couple of those throughout the rest of the game, which really, there isn't that much more left in the game, to be honest. I'm thinking that this is going to end up being about 63 to 65 episodes. So we're getting there, considering this is 56. We don't have that much longer to go. Anywho, you do need the Lens of Truth to see all of the treasure chests in that room. One of them does contain a small key, and obviously that is the most important one. You should have 2 small keys after leaving this room. The other treasure chest that I did not mention has a huge rupee in it, which contains 200 rupees. So, unfortunately, at this point in the game, rupees are pretty useless. And that's why it doesn't really matter, but I wanted to show it to you anyway. In the next room, you're going to want to play the Scarecrow song to make Pierre appear so that we can easily get back to this doorway. But before we do that, we need to open that door, and we need to do that by blinding the eyes of the statue. So we need to pull out our bow, and we're on this like spinning platform, and in the center there's like a pillar with 4 statues with like faces on them. And they're like Cyclops. Only one eye. Why can't I hit them? Goodness gracious, that took forever. Okay, once you actually do hit them, that's actually the objective. I don't know where I was going with that sentence, but never mind. What we're supposed to do here is obviously shoot your bow and shoot the arrows into the eyes of the statues. Once you get all 4, the door up top will unlock. Oh, that was close. And there will also be a small treasure chest on the platform with the statues. And that's going to give us 3 small keys. So that's pretty awesome. And then we can use our long shot to our good old buddy Pierre the Scarecrow, who is conveniently waiting for us. Once we go through the door up here, there is yet another small treasure chest with another small key. So now we have 4 small keys. And remember, there's a total of 9 to grab in this area. So, and there is a way also to complete this, I think, with 7 instead of 9. So, just for those of you that are keeping track there. Alright, so now we're going to go through the other door in this room. This takes us to a room with a bunch of fire keys and a couple of torch slugs. Find a secret passage in this room. Alrighty, well the first thing that you want to do is take out all of the enemies, because that will make your life so much easier. You can use the hook shot, of course, to stun the torch slugs that are roaming around. You can also use them to kill the fire keys, but I would recommend using your bow or your sword to knock out the keys. Once you kill all the enemies in the room, however, it will make a small treasure chest appear along the wall. And with that, you can receive a bundle of arrows, which I actually needed, because even with the bundle of arrows, I still have 46 and not the full 50. So you're going to want to pull out the Megaton Hammer, because remember, that's what helps us destroy these statues. The hidden switch that we need to look for is behind this totem pole thingy right there. Once you hit that switch, the fire will go out around the treasure chest, and we can pick up small key number 5. On to the next room, cross the sea of fire. Another silver rupee puzzle. The first one is very easy to get. You need the long shot, and all you need to do is simply long shot up to the hook shot target that is directly above the opening doorway. Then the easiest way to complete this room is to use the hover boots that we acquired in the Shadow Temple. And it makes running across these areas very simple. Also, there is something else, a little small secret here that you can do. On this platform here, you can play the Song of Time to make a couple of song blocks appear, to make it a lot easier to get up on top of that platform over there. But first, however, I want to collect all of these rupees, so we're pretty close. As you can see, there's one that is covered in fire over there, and that part's not so good. But first, let's climb up to the platform here, and that will allow us to receive small key number 6. So we're definitely getting there. But what you want to do is make sure that you grab this silver rupee first, and now we can worry about the one that is encased in fire. Once you step on the switch, that's going to make the fire go out. It doesn't show you that, but you have to figure that that's what it does, because there's nothing else in this room that we could possibly use it for. You do need to be kind of quick, because there is a time limit. And that's also strange, because it doesn't tell you that there's a time limit, and almost always in Zelda games it does, but I'm not sure why it doesn't there. But the fire will come back if you don't go get it in time. Alright, we're going to go up this way first, because this room's kind of cool. Defeat all the enemies in a limited time. By the way, we did not come in this room just because it's pretty cool, but it's because it's the way I feel like you should go to be efficient. So we have a Dinalphos here, and actually we have a couple of them, as well as the Beamos, and the Beamos can make your life miserable, so I suggest taking out the Beamos first, and I should have done that. And also, there's a ring of fire around the outside of the room, so be careful about that. If you're lucky, you'll hit the Beamos just right and be able to knock it out with one shot. As for the Dinalphos, they're very easy, especially with the Bigoron sword. You can knock them out in 3 or 4 hits, maybe even 2 jump slashes. Anywho, once you defeat all of the enemies within the time limit, a small chest will appear in the center of the room, and that will be small key number 7. Okay, so back into... Oh, I went the wrong way here. Didn't want to go back into that room. That's the room that I came from in the first place. We will be back there, but not just yet. Or maybe we will. Okay, this is back to the entrance. So I guess if we took the other path, that would have been here. So we do need to go back this way. Okay, so we have 2 small keys left to grab in this mini dungeon. And I say mini dungeon because there are no bosses or anything like that. No boss key, no dungeon boss, none of that stuff. I do not believe there's even a compass or dungeon map, because we would have seen it by now, so yeah. Alright, so this takes us to the area with all of the locked doors. You can pick up some bomb chews in the treasure chest there if you so wish, but I do recommend going all the way back to the beginning and going through the center door, because that will allow you to get to the treasure with 7 keys. The way I'm going here, eventually we're going to run out of keys and we're going to need 2 more. So, figured I might as well just unlock all these doors, why not? You can also pick up the treasure chests that are along the way if you want, but most of them contain either arrows, bombs, bomb chews, or just simply 5 rupees, which is kind of a waste of time, but that's alright. I'm just skipping over them entirely. There's the treasure chest that we're going to be looking for, and it looks like, well, we're out of keys, so yes, we're going to have to come back here, I suppose. I do know that there is something hidden along these paths here that will lead us to another small key. That treasure chest just contains a bundle of arrows, which I believe I actually needed because I've been using arrows like crazy. We'll open this one as well. Why not? A red rupee! Yay! I definitely did not need that at all. Okay, so you're going to want to have the lens of truth out so that you can see all of the secrets that the Gerudo Training Grounds have to offer. And that is specifically because in one of these rooms, there's an area that goes up into the ceiling that cannot normally be seen by the naked eye, but is able to be seen with the lens of truth. And you can actually climb up the grating into it, and it leads to a small treasure chest with a small key. It might be this room. Yes, yes it is. So as you can see, there's a hole in the ceiling. You can use your long shot if you want, and it looks really weird when it takes you up through the ceiling. But this is the other side of the room that we got a small key from earlier. And yeah, that's going to be number 8. The last small key that we have to get is a little bit of a lengthy one because it's going to be an underwater adventure. Yeah, lots of fun, right? So we will need our Zora tunic and the iron boots for that. Yay, purple rupee! But that'll be a lot of fun. Then once we do that, we'll have enough small keys to finally get to the treasure. And I just want to make sure that I didn't go the wrong way here. There should be one more small key that we need. And yep, okay, I did that the correct way. I wanted to go the longest way because I wanted to be able to show all of the different rooms instead of shortcutting it, because that is cheating. Actually, it's the smart thing to do, but I didn't know which order everybody was going to be doing it in, so I figured I should show all of them. So, now, I feel like I'm just going around in circles and going through a maze here, but I'm actually going back towards the beginning, where we came from. Obviously away from the main treasure chest. Okay, so we need to find that last room. And I don't know that that was the right choice. Probably not. That was the center hub, I guess. The main room, if you want to call it the main room. It was where we entered the Gerudo Training Grounds to begin with. This area here is... ah, yes, the lava room. Alright, we'll go this way. And we're going to go straight across the platforms this time. I think we went to the right last time. Yes, this is the room we needed to be. Collect the underwater gems. Alright, so it's going to be yet another silver rupee puzzle. And the first thing that we need to do when we come into this room is play the Song of Time, and that will force the time blocks in the center of the room, in the floor, to disappear. And that reveals a pool of water underneath the floor. So we're going to need our iron boots, and we're going to be also needing our long shot to collect all of these different silver rupees. Also need the Zora tunic, which I mentioned. And there's a couple of enemies down here. There's some shell blades, and also the... I don't know what they're called, actually. I always just call them, like, the floor blades. But I'm sure they have an actual name. The blades that are always sliding across the floors in pretty much most of the dungeons. But I don't know. I don't know what they're called. I actually don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to that. Okay, so most of these silver rupees are pretty awkwardly placed. And you have to hookshot to them from like a certain point at a certain angle, you know, in order to be able to collect them. Because they're kind of just levitating. I don't understand how rupees do this underwater, but it's Nintendo logic. What do you expect? But yeah, unfortunately, it would be so much easier if you could just long shot to the rupees themselves. That would be fantastic. How did I miss that? Oh my goodness. Okay, so while I'm collecting all of these rupees here, considering it's very boring, let's talk a little bit about... oh, my bad long shot skills. Holy crap. Actually, what I wanted to talk about, instead of all this nonsense was how the rest of this series is going to play out, because we don't have that much more to go to begin with. So after this episode, we're going to be heading back to the Spirit Temple, because now we can do the rest of the temple as an adult. Remember, we did part of it as a child, and the adult version is much longer. And then we'll also, of course, be getting another dungeon item. So the Silver Gauntlets wasn't it for that temple. And then after that, we will be revealing the true identity of Sheik at the Temple of Time. And after that, we're going to be headed for a showdown with Ganondorf at his castle. I don't know how I missed that jump. That was really ugly. What? Are you serious? Link, jump. Thank you. My goodness. Oh yeah, apparently you don't need the hover boots for that. I was pretty sure you didn't, but I don't know. You have to be able to actually line up your jumps. Link, what are you doing? Oh my goodness, I swear he has a mind of his own sometimes. Because I'm really not that bad at controlling him. He just kind of does what he wants. But anyway, that's pretty much the lowdown for the rest of the series, which really isn't that much. And like I said, I'm thinking anywhere from 63 to 65 is going to be the finale. So it's coming up very, very soon. I'm hoping that we can get it finished up by the beginning of next week at the latest. Anywho, we have all the small keys now, so we are free to enter the chamber with the hidden item. Once you get there, there's a large treasure chest just waiting for you to open. And once you do, we obtain the ice arrows. Set it to C and your arrows will be powered up. If you hit your target, it will freeze. This arrow magic is granted only to those who complete the difficult training of the Gerudos, so use it with pride. And that we will. But first, we're going to test it out on the wall, because that's what we do. We're curious, folks. And you can freeze a lot of enemies like this. Anything that's fire-based will die almost instantly. So yeah, unfortunately, we get it so late in the game, so there's not a lot of practical use for it, but it's still an awesome item. Anyway, that's it for the Gerudo Training Grounds, and that's it for this episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and please stay tuned for episode number 57. Game on.